reference to this property, Michelle, I think you mentioned something about a comprehensive plan for 2030.
The goal for 2034, the comprehensive plan was
Okay, so there hasn't been any adjustment to the comprehensive plan since 2014 because we've been asking for it. And a comprehensive plan is important because that's the roadmap that determines what's going to be built, where, what kind of development we're going to have. And it has not been updated for over a decade, but yet we're doing things as though there is an actual plan for these areas. So how can you change ordinances and zoning if you have not put together a strategic plan of what the end result is going to be? It's just like if I was going to build a house and I never had any blueprints, or I never had an engineer come on board to work out the schematics. What do you think is going to happen with that house if I just start randomly pulling things? Okay, and that's the issue. And there's a saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if we're going to start changing ordinances to appease certain individuals because of their position, then if you can put an 8-foot fence up, at my house, I can't put an 8-foot fence up. But if you're going to change the ordinance, what you do for one business needs to be something that's going to be carried throughout the whole entire village, okay? So all I'm saying is, zoning, you guys should have questions. I know you're texting, but you should have questions about these issues because that's what you're put here to do. To put these things to the test and make sure that what you're voting in favor for today does not cause a catastrophe, a damage, or something very catastrophic in the future. So I think you guys really do need to look at the specifics behind what she's asking for this property. And that being said, you know me, I get in, I get out, but I just want to put that. We don't have to agree, but we should love each other enough to respect one another's opinions, even if we differ from them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Dawn Williams. I did assist with Tori Karen with getting the property at 1115 South 5th Avenue, which was in 2023. I'm not going to deny that, and I was only paid $7,500 to do that, help her, with that process, because I did provide that type of service. However, that has nothing to do with the business that's going on right now. I live a block over, and the hours of operation is from 11 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Sunday. The Liquor Commission approved the extended hours on February 3rd, 2026, and they voted that in. The restaurant is not a problem. What the problem is that it's not a restaurant, it's an event venue. On their website, their Facebook page, it says that it's available for event rentals and it's booked all the way up until the end of August. We're all for supporting business, but the music, I can hear it from my house, and I'm a block over. And the music is very loud. Mrs. Wilson called me on Sunday, and she's like, Dawn, can you hear this? And I was like, we have no choice but to hear it. And the village of Maywood has a noise ordinance. We've called the police. The police have came and told us that the mayor has allowed certain establishments to stay open late and to play their music loud during their business hours. Well, if the business hours is open until 2 o'clock in the morning, they have, whoever they rent a venue, who allowed to rent the venue out, has been playing their music until 2 o'clock in the morning. We have the videos. My neighbors, all of you all, raise your hand. See, they're playing the music loud until 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're renting, tell them who's renting your facility that you all cannot play your music this loud because it's going to disturb the residents. This is a neighborhood residential area that we live in. We pay taxes. And a restaurant event venue, this is out, it is out of character with the established single family nature of our neighborhood. The enclosed fence area is available for rentals. It says it on their Facebook page. And that's where the big party is, and it's almost every 3 days out the week that we're hearing the music until 2 o'clock in the morning. And the village of Maywood has a noise ordinance. So if the police are not enforcing the noise ordinance, then what are we to do? A lot of us have to be at work in the morning. A lot of us have families. 1110 South 4th Avenue is a 2-flat building on our block. The owner sold the property because the renters there had little kids and their families could not get any sleep due to how loud the music was. Now you tell me if that's okay. You can look up the property record and see that that property was just sold. So I'm telling the truth.
I'm sure that wasn't the reason, but.
Comment was given an order by the Village of Maywood on March 30th.
Thank you, I
to
believe that's
install-
time as well. Before you say anything, is there anyone else?
Okay, I would just like to say, the music is down by 10 o'clock, and they do go in early on Saturday and Fridays, okay? Because I live next door.
Hello, my name is Maya Dimitrova, and I also live a block over. And
Maya, can you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah, and I don't know how this lady doesn't hear the music, but I hear it, and I have 2 small kids that sleep in the next bedroom, and I need to go to work. Everybody needs their sleep. Like, if you cannot sleep throughout the night, when are you going to sleep? When you're at work, when you're driving your little kids, and then you crash because you can't sleep? I'm sorry, but this is not fair. We are not playing favoritism here. We can't give to other people and take from another. This is not how it works. We all live here. We all pay taxes. So we all have to be able to do what we have to do. And there is another thing that nobody spoke about. So this property that is being sold currently is under an exempt PIN from taxes. Do you know what that means? There's 0 taxes to be paid right now, which means that everybody else that we live there, we pick up those taxes and they're put onto our houses. Those taxes that this property is supposed to pay for, the difference is put under our houses. They are distributing it because the county has to make their money. Thank you very much. It's those taxes, those properties that are on the sheet. 1113 South 5th Avenue, 1115 South 5th Avenue. You can look them up. Cook County Assessor's Office. You can find their PIN. This is public information. It's not hidden from nobody. And then on the tax portal, Cook County tax portal, you can see all the taxes that have been paid, the tax history, and you can also see that the tax PIN is currently exempt from taxes.
1113 South 5th was just sold this year to the petitioner from the Cook County Land Bank, and so the property would be exempt because the change occurs on January 1 of each year. So it is going to show as exempt, but that will be changed because it's now with the taxpayer.
Do we have any other comments, questions? Please come forward.
Yeah, see it.
Hi, my name is Ruth. I live on the South 4th Avenue, and I have little girls. During the school hours, I struggle a lot to put my kids to sleep. I wake up at 2 a.m. to go to work, start work at 3. It's really hard knowing that street was really, really quiet, really, really peaceful. I love it. I don't mind supporting the business as restaurants. I have youth too, and I would really like them to start exploring restaurants, supporting it. But the way that it's loud music on the weekends, it's really bothering. And I really want the council here to help us to lower just the volume during the weekends. Because like I said, the kids go to school and it's really hard for me to wake them up at 7 a.m. I got a middle schooler, high schoolers, elementary kids, and it's really hard. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comments, questions, concerns, thoughts? Yes.
This is my husband. We are residents at 512 Randolph Street, and we previously had the same concern about the issue with the bars, also with the parking situation. And hi, Mayor. I was just checking back. With specifically about residential parking for our street on Randolph Street. Aside from that, I do want to ask the council as well, like she stated, maybe the noise. I know the bar next to us, they have like an outdoor area, so maybe if they can like turn it down a little bit.
Well, I'm just having an issue with the parking and everything because it seems like every other week I have to call the police because someone is blocking my driveway. I have 2 little children, and it could be any little. Oh, sorry about that.
The board meeting hasn't started.
Well, this is our first town hall.
So this is a hearing for the Maywood Bistro Cafe. Board meeting will start right after.
Okay.
Thank you.
And before I go, I'm sorry. I just have to stress. I live next door to this establishment. And I can tell you that on Fridays and Saturdays, that music is turned down and they are going inside. They do not sit out till 2 a.m. playing that music loud like that. No, they do not.
Okay, before the commission discusses, do we have, oh, hello.
My mother's house is just behind her. She was up here earlier explaining to you all the noise issues. There is a noise issue. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? This is a neighborhood where children and families are. There is a lot of areas in Maywood that can put a club-type atmosphere in that is not in a residential neighborhood. That is what these people are talking about. They're not talking about they want to push this lady out. Like my mom said, she had a business. We want to support the business. Matter of fact, she bought food from the business. It's not about what we're trying to push out. We're trying to explain this is what's going on in this neighborhood, and people are having a problem with it, and we're not listening to it. It's fine if you like the music. That's fine. But there's people who don't like the music. There are people who do have to get up early in the morning to go to work. And then, like I said, my mama is 87 years old. She don't want to hear that. I was over there Sunday, and I heard this man saying all types of vulgarity that you can hear in the house. In the house. I'm not talking about outside the house. I'm talking about in the house. Okay? It's not respectful. It is a neighborhood. It's not a place for partying. Thank you.
Thank you, board, for your time. I know this is going on a little longer than you anticipated. I'm just going to say I'm one of the owners of your Cafe and Bistro located 1115 South Fifth Avenue. We've been there trying our best to do great things in the community, purchased it, remodeled it, all of ourselves, no support from the village at all. This came from my wife and myself. As we're there are things that need to be rectified, and we have no problem with that. But I don't think we have to come here and waste these people's time for this, because there are people who I know that's sitting in here, and I'm going to point you out. Okay? The light I had, sir, that was bothering you, And you told me beginning of the year that my light blinded you and you couldn't see from a block away.
Thank you.
And I cut that light out. I paid an electrician, I bought the light, but I no longer use that light because of you. Dawn, you were there when we walked in and purchased the property and you helped us and you was there with us through it all. Right? You were there, took our money and ran. And you didn't pay us our money back. Okay? That's probably where the park district money at too, why you want to get up here and talk about it. Okay? Period. Right? Who else is it? I'm each because we are not here, we're here to be a real. All jokes aside, we're here to be a real business. I want to serve my community. I really do. I want to be respectful. I don't have a problem with
Yes,
anybody.
please keep the comments respectful.
But if you have anything that you want to say, I'm there. Come talk to me. If that music bother you, come tell me. I promise you won't hear the music no more. You just told me right now, you're not going to hear the music no more. I'm going to make sure it's down at about 10 o'clock. You won't have that. The vocabulary on the microphone. That's disrespectful. My mom and daddy raised me right. You won't hear that no more either. There are things that will be fixed, okay? But you just got to tell me. You don't got to come up here and beat us up for that. You can come tell me, come knock on my door. I'm over there. You don't got to do this. Because they got a board meeting up when we start right now. We taking over their time, okay? So I'm just saying, I don't want no problem with none of y'all, man. We just trying to be great. And I appreciate those who support us. And those that don't, may God bless you.
Do we have any more comments for this issue? Okay, then we're going to close the comments and allow the commissioners to discuss.
So if I may provide some guidance, the commissioners perhaps will be able to see it. There's two requests. There's one request that is a map amendment. That's the one that the commission's going to have to either make a motion to recommend either an approval or denial to the Board of Trustees so they can rezone the area from what it is right now, which is an R5 multi-family residential, to a C2 pedestrian-oriented commercial zoning district. That's the request. That it's a map amendment, so it doesn't require any specific factors that you have to work in. It's a legislative discretion issue. You can just simply recommend whatever you want to recommend based on what you've heard, based on the issues and the information. That's one of the requests that you have to act independently. The second request is the fence variation, and that is just the request, as you heard, is to have a slightly higher fence. And as a variation, it's very unique to that one situation, this house. Every entity, every person, every resident, every property that comes in for a variation has to satisfy requirements. So it's not you grant it here, then you have to grant it everywhere. They have to satisfy some requirement. And so then that's going to be a separate motion to recommend either the approval or denial to the board of the proposed fence variation. And then you have to go through that process. So that's the two questions that you have in front of you. What I would suggest you do then is obviously discuss the map amendment first, because that's the first application. You'd have to make a motion, you have to have a second, and then you can have discussion. You can decide what you want to do with it, and go from there, and then obviously there will be a vote on it. So if you want to move forward to the map amendment, that's what I would suggest you do now.
Yes.
Folks, I apologize for being late. Unfortunately, I've had some health problems, but they're all fixed now. Here I am. I would just like to tell everybody in this room that I see you. I do see you. I get it. I live near the exclusive club. It's right over there. On the weekends, my street becomes a parking lot. I have people parking in front of my driveway. I can't get out. I have noise, I have screaming, I have music. There are ordinances in this village that say that music can't go on past a certain time at a certain decibel level. I have a decibel meter on my phone. I get it. I really get it. There are more rats because of that facility. there are more policemen. It's crazy. I don't like it. Okay, I hear you. That was supposed to be starting out as a breakfast place, to have nice breakfast. And now I see that it's turned into something else. So, but what I really feel honestly is the problem that we have does not mean that the fence can't go up 2 feet higher. Okay, I do say that we need to do something to enforce the noise laws and all the other crazy stuff that's been going on down there. So I see you, I hear you, I want to thank you very much. I've lived here for 32 years, coming up next month. I have some great neighbors. I've met some absolutely fabulous and wonderful people. I appreciate you all, so I just wanted you to hear that from me. Thank you.
Would the commission have a motion to recommend either approval or denial to the Board of Trustees of the rezoning of the properties from R5 multifamily residential to C2 pedestrian-oriented commercial zoning district? Is there a motion by one of the commissioners for that end?
A motion to approve the change, the map amendment from an R5 to a C2 pedestrian in light of the 2014 plan that we have in place, which is still in most part in place.
Is there a second?
Second that motion.
Okay.
Michelle, will you call the roll, please?
Wait a minute, there's a little more to do with that. If there's motion to that end, obviously, do you have any more discussion on it? Have you heard what we needed to hear? What do you want to do? Okay. So in light of that, there's a couple of things. Obviously, the properties are located in the residential block. They're also located along the Fifth Avenue main commercial corridor, which is one of the things that you can take into account, whether it would be then appropriate to have the rezoning, and in how the general area having some business component to it, not just residential. That's why you have the request. So if that's all consistent with what you believe is in place, then go ahead and make a motion. Well, actually, the motion's already happened. Do the vote, and the vote would be to recommend, based on your belief and findings of it, that there should be a map amendment to that from R5 to C2 pedestrian-oriented commercial zone.
Michelle, please call the roll.
Commissioner Killingsworth?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallo? Commissioner Files?
Aye.
Commissioner Acevedo? Motion carries.
Okay. Now for the variance for the fence height. Let's discuss this.
You gotta talk to the now, please.
So basically, I was saying to vote for. If we were back in the map, we might
So I have actually a question of the petitioner, real quick. The fence that you're wanting to put up and erect 2 feet higher, is it just along the rear of the property to block out noise from the residents behind? Or are you looking to put up a 8-foot fence that takes the whole perimeter?
on the, you see, there was.
I want her to say this out loud.
On what you can see, it's just across the west side of the building, and
the north side as a sound barrier for the residents that are north of me and west of me. It's a sound barrier. So that it can control the music, because even at our decibel amount, we hear the complaints. So to assist with that, to make sure that we put greenery and the fence so that it reduces the noise.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
She mean east,
East.
because west.
Oh, yes, east, I'm sorry.
West of the street, please.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, Commissioner Azevedo, do you have any comments, questions? Okay, so when I think about this, and I think about the fact that it is only on certain sides, I have no problem with it. I think the greater issue is what most of you have complained about is the noise. And to me, what that means is that it's not the business issue. It's more that we need to have perhaps some more stricter ordinances in place regarding noise. I feel you guys about noise. I have a neighbor next door whom I absolutely adore, and I refuse to call the police on them, but by golly, I am so sick of being woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, because they out there partying. No matter how many times they invite me, I don't want to be out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I want to be asleep. So with that, I mean, we need to possibly look at other things, but I don't think that has anything to do with the fence today. So I wanted to share that, which is why I have no problem with an 8-foot fence going in. Commissioner Vallow, do you have any other things that you want to comment or say? Do you have any other comments that you want to make about the fence?
Just one more. Referring back to the 25-year-old plan that.
Speak into the mic.
Microphone.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I used to talk louder for this before I got sick. In terms of the 25-year-old plan that I voted for when it was brought to us and we worked through it, we did focus on a commuter-related village. Okay, so we're looking at kind of like two things here. But the main thing we're looking at is the development of Fifth Avenue. Now, see, there are a lot of new commercial venues going up on Fifth from about Lake Street all the way down. That is part of the plan. It is not part of the plan to make people crazy with the music or the noise or anything else. So, if I vote yes on changing into a commercial zone for that particular restaurant, that is because of the plan. It's not do any harm to anybody in this village. So again, like I told you before, from a noise perspective and everything like that, I hear you. But we have to take that to a whole different board to get that straightened out. So we'll work together to see what we can do about this. Thank you.
If there's any additional discussion, if there's not been, like we did with the map amendment, the zoning, we need a motion to either approve or deny the fence variation. There needs to be a second, and then you can discuss it further with vote. But there's also some findings of fact that we do, and the findings of fact may relate to the fence being necessary to be a buffer, that it won't change the if you believe that it won't change the uses of the area the way that they are, and the way they have been planned pursuant to the 2014 plan. And that by increasing the fence height, will help limit the noise issue. And obviously, all of that is part of what we decided to do. There has to be a motion first. There's got to be a second, and then you ask the
Motion to approve.
to approve.
Do we have a second? Okay. So with that, we are finding that the reason that we're completing this motion to approve is that this fence will create a buffer between residents and the establishment, that there is an undue hardship involved. And that the fence height of an additional 2 feet will act as that buffer on the east and north sides of the property. Michelle, would you mind calling the roll, please?
Commissioner Killingsworth?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallo?
Aye.
Commissioner Files?
Aye.
Commissioner Acevedo?
Aye.
Okay, all right. So, motion to close the public hearing. I'm asking for a motion.
A motion to close.
All right, we're closed. And meeting adjourned.
Remember all these places to make sure y'all exercise your right to vote.
I'm sorry. They get ready to start Angie's thing now. This was a meeting about yours bistro. No, you just guys that they went over.
Hey, Mallory. I'm proud of you.
to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Sorry that the Planning and Zoning Board meeting went over, so we'll see if we can reclaim some of our time. So the time is now 7:36. If we could please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Here.
Trustee Sanchez? Trustee Sanchez?
Not here.
Trustee Jones?
Here.
Trustee Allison? Here. Trustee Smiley?
Here.
Trustee Brandon?
Here.
Mayor Booker?
Here.
Quorum present.
All right, so we are going to have the invocation from one of our pastors, a new horizon, Pastor Moore. He's going to give us our invocation, and then we're going to stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Might we pray? Gracious Father, Lord and Savior, we thank you here now at this appointed time. We pray for our legislative leaders, this community as a whole at large. We know that, God, you're still in the business of planning and preparing. And so, God, we ask you according to your grace and mercy to move by your power to help lead us collectively, not individually only, but all of us come together to know you have a purpose and a plan for this Maywood Township. Bless now our mayor, bless all those officials that are here tonight, and certainly bless our community. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank God.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I need approval of the minutes for the village board meeting of Board of Trustees on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Trustee Brandon, maybe a second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Smiley. Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams? Aye. Trustee Sanchez? Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Allison? Aye. Trustee Smiley?
Aye.
Trustee Brandon?
Aye.
Mayor Booker?
Aye. All right. Our Director of Community Engagement, Ms. Banks, will give us oaths, reports, proclamations, announcements, and appointments.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, Maywood residents.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Please join me as we recognize families that are currently in bereavement. Siobhan Reyes-Plummer, former Maywood trustee, on the recent passing of her mother. Mr. James Rivers, longtime Maywood resident. Pastor Lorenzo Rush, father of Maywood employee Dominique Davis. Mr. Clement Redmond Jr., father of Maywood Homeland Security Officer Tim Noel. Janelle Lindsay Brown, Maywood native, and Mr. Charles Kelly, longtime Maywoodian and business owner. Please keep these families in your thoughts and prayers during this time. We have several upcoming events that's taking place in the village of Maywood. We ask that you check our village website at maywood-il.gov for additional details, but I will highlight a few. For Proviso Township High School 209, we will collaborate with them for their back-to-school bash on Saturday, August the 1st from 1 to 5 p.m. at Proviso East High School. There will be school supply giveaways, food, entertainment, and more. And this is in collaboration with District 209 as well as multiple community partners. There will also be a back-to-school bash for elementary and middle school district children on August the 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. at 10th Park, which is Connor Heights Park at 10th and Washington Boulevard. Also on that day, Maywood Old Timers Picnic on August 15th from 12 to 6 at Veterans Park. Fun, food, music, and fellowship, and school supplies. Also during the month of August, which is National Black Business Month, we will host a community block party on Saturday, August 15th at Connor Heights Park from 12 to 8 p.m. And then save the date for Maywood Fest, which is September 4th through the 6th in Veterans Park. Also on tomorrow, the Freedom School will have their Freedom Celebration of our Scholars and National Day of Social Action at Roosevelt School in Broadview at 1:00 p.m. Mayor and board, at this time we have presentations from two of our departments. We will lead with the Maywood Fire Department if Chief Craig Drono will come forward.
Thank you, Mrs. Banks. Good evening to the mayor and the board of trustees, my fellow colleagues and village residents. We are here to recognize a fire department member who has completed his probationary requirements, which include being under evaluation by the management staff and his peers for 1 calendar year, attending the Illinois Fire Service Institute for 7 weeks, taking part in almost 500 hours of rigorous fire ground and rescue training. Also to be evaluated by the peers down at the Illinois Fire Service Institute, which happens to be one of the top firefighting schools in the country. Fire departments from all over the United States send their membership to the Illinois Fire Service Institute in Champaign, Illinois. This individual went through this training with no problem, operating on probably 2 hours of sleep, 14 to 16 hours per day of rigorous training, and then after the 14 hours, having to go home and study at night. Then to come back from that 7 weeks of training and be on one of the busiest ambulance companies in the western suburbs, if not the state of Illinois, and to work alongside his peers at one of the busiest fire departments in the state. He has completed all of this flawlessly, and I would like to congratulate him, and I'm very proud to bring before you Mr. Garrett Folk. Can you please come back? So this certificate reads, given this 14th day of July 2026 by the Village of Maywood Fire Department to Garrett Folk in recognition of his completion of probationary requirements on June 23rd, 2026. Congratulations, Mr. Folk, and good luck to you in the rest of your career. With the mayor's permission, at this time, I ask that this family can step forward for a photo. Family, friends, you want to come down for a picture? Get on either side of me. Stand side to side. I got to get here. Taking shots. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. Okay, we ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3. Fire.
I was trying to confirm if you guys could all come up here with the fire department, and then y'all just got a call with them?
Couple.
Because everybody just left. We are the busiest in the state, like you said. But if we could get the officers and the families that all come into the board, will get right behind you. So that we have a joint picture.
Right, everyone can look at me, please. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take some more here. All right.
Still taking? Congratulations to the folks. Very much.
and board. We now have a special presentation, a few presentations from the Maywood Police Department. Commander Donna Lewis, come forward.
Good evening, Mayor, Village Board, and members of the community.
Good evening. Good evening.
Tonight, we are proud to recognize Sergeant Angela Patterson. Officer Latanya Morgan. Martinez. For successfully completing the DARE Officer Certification Program. These officers spent 2 weeks on and off in Indiana and Wisconsin training with the DARE program. If anyone remembers, we had DARE over 30 years ago. DARE was a huge success within the schools, so we're bringing it back with the help with the mayor initiatives, and these are the first 4 officers that has been selected. These officers are now prepared to educate, mentor, and positively influence our youth by teaching sound decision-making, drug prevention, and life skills. So please join me in congratulating these officers on their accomplishments and thanking them for their continued commitment to serving the village of Maywood.
We gonna have a lot of aunties, uncles, aunties. So, auntie Brenda, Valerie. That's right.
Members of the Maywood Police Department, family, friends, and the community, it is my honor and privilege to introduce an individual whose career exemplifies dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to public service. Tonight, we recognize Officer Angela Patterson on her promotion to the rank of Patterson has proudly served the Maywood Police Department with professionalism, integrity, and compassion. She began her career as a part-time police officer before entering and earning full-time appointment, and has since built an impressive career through hard work and a steadfast commitment to excellence. During her tenure, she has served in a variety of assignments, including 18 years in patrol, detective, supervisor of the Police Cadet Explorer Program, and the department's grant writer. While serving as a full-time police officer, Officer Patterson remained committed to professional growth by recently earning her Doctor of Education. Her dedication to learning extends beyond her own achievements, and she also teaches research methodology and multicultural issues in criminal justice at Lewis University, helping prepare the next generation of criminal justice professionals and reinforcing the value of education within our profession. Beyond her accomplishments in law enforcement and academia, Officer Patterson is a devoted mother of 4, with 2 sons and 2 daughters, along with 2 grandchildren. One of her proudest achievements is seeing her oldest son follow in her footsteps by choosing a career in law enforcement. This promotion reflects more than her years of service. It reflects her character, work ethic, leadership, professionalism, integrity, humility, and a genuine commitment to serving others. On behalf of the Maywood Police Department, it is with great pride and honor that we congratulate and welcome our newest police sergeant, Sergeant Dr.
What she doing? Get it forward. I can't. I'm short. That's not.
Get it right, Mallory.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah.
This award is from the Fire and Police Commission Board. Certificate of appointment awarded to Dr. Angela Patterson for the promotion of position to sergeant as a member of the Maywood Police Department, effective the date of June 15, 2026. Great day.
Get all the officers to come take a group picture.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, Maywood. 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 It's too many.
It's a big family.
Excuse me, honey. Tell y'all to come up.
Can we get some of y'all to come up
All right, you guys can look at me, please. Thank you so much.
Wait up, Randy. She's up.
All right. Ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take another one here. All right, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Now we are going to swear. We have Sergeant Dr. Patterson take her statement of oath. The Village of Maywood statement of oath. I, Sergeant Dr. Angela Patterson, have been appointed to the office of Sergeant of Maywood Police Department.
To the office of Sergeant with the Maywood Police Department.
In the Village of Maywood.
In the Village of Maywood.
County of Cook.
County of Cook.
State of Illinois.
State of Illinois.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support.
That I will support.
The Constitution.
The Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office to the best of my ability. Dated this date of the 15th day of June 2026.
Day of June 2026.
July.
It's June. Okay. Well, we did this in June officially. So I apologize. So we will say the 14th of July 2026.
14th of July 2026.
Welcome aboard.
You have a speech you prepared?
Since I must. No, I seriously, first of all, I just want to say thank you to the Honorable Mayor Booker for entrusting me with the duties of the Village of Maywood to ensure that all citizens are safe and that we are protected. And I want to thank next my colleagues. I mean, first and foremost, my commander, who's been here my entire career, walking by my side, training me, yelling at me, but most of all, getting me in order. So I thank her. I don't want to leave anybody out, but to my lieutenant, I want to thank Lieutenant Dent, wherever he is, and all of my fellow sergeants who stand beside me as we lead the officers here at the Maywood Police Department. I thank the police and fire commissioners. I thank the board. Thank you guys so much. I thank all of my family and friends. I want to recognize, we have a retired chief of police in here from Calumet Park. I want to recognize, can you stand please? I want to recognize our commander from, I think it's the 11th District Commander.
376, but it's okay.
That's the commander from Chicago. And they're also here on behalf of Noble. I am a member of the National Organization of Black Law Executives. Amen. And they are members of the organization as well. And then I would like to thank all of the police officers who came out as well. Thank you guys for coming. To my family, to my friends, to all of you who came out to make sure that this day was special. I appreciate you. We have, and I don't want to be remiss to name everybody, but there are some other police officers here from other departments. I thank you, my sorority family, I thank you. But one thing I just want to say, and this is going to be it. People ask me, hey, are you nervous? Is that, going into this position, like what are your apprehensions and things like that? But I wasn't nervous. I mean, I've been doing this job of protecting the Village of Maywood and the citizens and businesses and all of that comes with that. But what I said was that I take it very serious to be responsible for my fellow officers. I take that very serious to ensure that they are safe and that they are going outside effecting their duties to the best lawfully. So every night before I come to work, I've already started my tour, I pray and cover my officers. And not only do I pray and cover my officers, but I cover the Village of Maywood. Because we know that all things are possible through Christ. And the Village of Maywood is on the move. We are on the move. We have great leadership in place. And I'm not just saying that because I've just recently been promoted, but I've been here 20 years and I've seen us grow. I've seen the Village of Maywood transcend into something that has overwhelmed me with gladness. And I thank you to the board. You guys are doing an amazing job. And I'm here to support your mission. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes, that's it. So.
Good to see you in the wood. I do want to just name a couple things. Ms. Banks did say that there's a lot going on for the month of July and August going on. But really quickly, just want to highlight the Saturday, July 25th will be the 24th annual Back to School Health Fair with Speaker Welch at Proviso West. But there'll also be Power Move, the R&B Rodeo, going on from 12 to 10 at Veterans Park. We also have the Old School House Picnic that will be happening on Saturday, August 1st for their 15th anniversary. That will be at Winfield Scott Park all day long. Also want everybody to mark your calendars for Tuesday, August 4th. We'll be having actual take-off the mini town hall and Tiffany at the Maywood grocery store. So it'll be at 615 South 5th. We will actually be inside the grocery store. We'll be discussing the renovation timeline, the budget, the lease agreement with Living Fresh, the tax increment financing hearing, and then just overall be able to see what's going on inside the store. So that will be at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, August 4th. Other than that, one more announcement. And then also Maywood Fest coming up. If you all are vendors or would like to become a vendor, if you just go to the village website under Maywood Fest, you'll be able to sign up.
Just want to make the residents aware that on August the 8th, our mayor will be one of the grand marshals for the Blood Milligan Parade. Tune in, either go down to King Drive or tune in to any local station and you'll be able to see the mayor of Maywood and the village represented. Congratulations.
Mayor, thank you, Trustee Bridget. Yes, I would like to make sure the community is aware of the all-class alumni picnic that will be taking place for Proviso East High School this Saturday. And it is open, well, certainly open to the community, but I want to put some special emphasis on the class of 2006 as we prepare to celebrate our 20th year class reunion and give a shout out to all of my fellow classmates that will be traveling from across the different states to come back home to celebrate our 20th year class reunion for Proviso Weeks. We have a whole entire weekend that we're looking forward to reconnect with one another. Starting on Friday, we have our reception. We will be at the all-class alumni picnic on Saturday, and then we have a follow-up brunch on Sunday. So I want to give a special shout out to the class of 2006 as we prepare for our 20th year reunion here in the village of Maywood. And then last but not least, I encourage those who are available to participate in the 10, and I know I've signed up to participate in it as well, is the Twin Village Covenant Kickball Tournament. They'll be hosted over in River Forest. Looking forward to being a part of it, and I encourage the community to also be involved and be engaged in it as well. That was something that we, specifically Trustee Jones, established a while back, and so just to see that that is still alive and well, and see that we are working to continue to strengthen our relationship with our neighboring communities. So again, I encourage the community to participate in the kickball tournament, and I believe Trustee Jones have the rest of the details. I think it will be starting that afternoon on August the 8th, and it will be hosted in River Forest. Thank you.
All right, Mayor. Trustee Jones?
Yeah, just really quickly, for individuals that are interested, Loyola Center of Fitness has given me a handful of single day classes for individuals that are interested in joining the Center of Fitness. So if you're interested in joining and exercising that day, or just would like a tour, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to give you a pass. So I have a handful of them left. And then we'll also be hosting some tours for Maywood residents later on this month and next month. So just want to throw it out. Thank you.
All right. Under financial management reports, does anybody have any questions for financial report or warrants? Hearing none, We'll go to the village president's report. Does anybody have any questions for anyone on the village president's report?
Mayor?
Yes, sir. Trustee Brandon.
Yes, I have some questions as it relates to the item 9A, as it relates to the R&B rodeo event. And at this time, I'm seeking confirmation from staff on the following items, and they are as follows. Have all of the required permits, applications, and supporting documents been submitted to the village as it relates to this event? My other question is pertaining to have the event submitted a layout plan to the village as it relates to the event, and has it been approved? And the other question is pertaining to what security measures have been presented to the village, and are there any plans that we could see as well? And I would also like to know, have any traffic plans been submitted as well? So most certainly, I'm for having a good time, but I want to make sure it's a safe time. And so normally, and I've seen that this event is, has advertised somewhere to the 10,000 attendees will be attending, and I want to make sure that we'll be responsive as it relates to any event. And so I had the same questions last year, and I have the same questions this year, just to ensure that, you know, we're doing our due diligence as it relates to those items that I just mentioned. So, Ms. Satchel, if you could let me know if any of those things have been submitted to the village.
Trustees, just real quick. The permits have already been submitted. Chief Willis has already met with them multiple times on the security plan, so you can get with Chief Willis about the plan and the layout, because they gave one copy of the plan. So if you just want to get with Chief Willis, he can do your plan.
And I just want to confirm with the interim manager Satchel that she has all of these things on hand that she should.
Yes, so I have gone through with community engagement, so there had been a meeting with the chief, Public Works, and Ms. Banks to go through all of these, and we have the chief specifically gave his recommendations. We have our movement of our cameras, and also some related staff that he's proposing and that we invoice for. So that's been taken under account. As far as the number of attendees, we had that 10,000 number has not been recognized. At last count, he was at about 5,000, and then there's another meeting scheduled tomorrow just to finalize everything.
Okay, and that was like a copy of what you just stated. Thank you.
All right. Public comment. For public comment, do everybody signed up?
Claudia Van Dyven.
You provide your name. You don't have to provide your address.
Okay, I'm Claudia Vandiver. Okay, so a few questions. I'm glad to hear that I'm doing a lot of coverage on the upcoming grocery store that's coming to Fifth Avenue. There really hasn't been any information really put about the specifics as far as who the grocer is, your actual contractual agreement with Living Word. So I want to know, since you're going to be broadcasting it to the public, and so I can finish the articles and content that I'm creating on the matter, who is the actual grocer, the business? If the Village of Maywood is now in the commercial real estate game, that they own that property, Living Fresh is coming in to manage, who is the business? The business is going to make the money, the business is going to file taxes. Who is the actual grocer? Is it Pete's? Is it Jewel's? That's the question I want to know. In reference to 30 Madison project, we haven't heard anything about that. Did you guys close on that property? If so, what's the closing date? When did it close? Okay? And then another question I have, and this is for Ms. Guerin. I've been waiting for you to comply with my FOIA request. I asked you back in March, yes, based on our conversation and my question about the liability associated with the village selling contaminated property to friends of this administration, I asked for you to provide me a copy of all written communication. That email you told me to send, you sent, saying that this is why my question wasn't read. You haven't complied with that request. You haven't acknowledged it, and it's been like 3 months now. And I've submitted multiple requests because you said you guys changed the policy about questions. So I'm just trying to find out, this is my question, did you or did you not change the policy for written questions to be submitted as public comments? And you said, based on what you said, you didn't answer my question because, you guys changed the policy. I FOIA'd that document, that email communication. You still have not submitted it to me. So I just want to know, did you guys really change the policies or not?
So I responded to, I responded to that. That way it was responded to. The only portion of it wasn't responded to because I think there was a miscommunication when you came into the office. When you asked me why didn't I read it, and I said to you that I didn't see no, not this part of it. Not why I didn't see your email that you sent to me, and I was going to send you a personal email, and I didn't. That's why I said that your FOIA request has been responded to.
So you responded saying that you did email because you specifically
No.
gave details? Or
No, your FOIA request on your question in regards to your information was responded to.
So you responded, and I'm not going to debate because I know you guys have other things to do, but so your FOIA response to me submitting, requesting a copy of the actual email, because I emailed you 4 times separately.
So let's do
You
this.
specifically
So
said that
public comment
it
is not for
wasn't-
back and forth.
Right, no,
Can
it's
you all
not.
just get together tomorrow to discuss it? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. But my other question then.
So your other question was, you said Living Fresh 3 times. It's Living Fresh.
No, that's the
So-
management, but you're
so
saying that
the
Living
village,
Fresh is
the
actually
village is
grocery?
looking to retain ownership of the grocery store, where it would be an asset for us as the village because we got the grant to actually put the money into the grocery store. The actual grocer management company would be Living Fresh.
So they will own the business, they would file the tax.
They already own their business, so
No,
it would be a tax revenue generating space.
So
It
they
would not
would
be
own
tax
the
exempt.
business, the business of the actual grocery store, because my thing is this, and I won't go back and forth.
So I'm
Management
so
versus owning.
when
You're
the
saying
paperwork
I'm right about that.
comes out, you'll be able to read the paperwork before you'll have the paperwork before the meeting.
Okay.
So you'll be able to read everything before the
Okay, so I
meeting.
can FOIA it, okay.
No, you won't have to FOIA it. We're doing the town hall. It'll be, because it's on the TIF district, we have to have the TIF meeting. So you'll get the TIF information and you'll get the actual proposal of the agreement that will be posted to you before the meeting even happens. So you already have it to review. So you don't have to FOIA it. It'll be on the village website. We'll send you to the website.
I'll FOIA it.
Trustee Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, that raised a concern. The language from here this evening raised a concern for me in regards to the direction in which we're going. It sounds to me as if a decision has already been made. When we have had previous conversations, we've stated that this board would receive some type of communication from Living Fresh as it relates to what their proposal is going to be, and we haven't heard anything. And so the last communication received from Living Fresh was over 3 years ago, or was most certainly over 2 years ago, as it relates to them wanting to purchase the grocery store. And so, just like the resident is in the dark as it relates to this particular project and this particular ordeal, me as a sitting elected official, I'm in the dark as well. And it was communicated to this board and to us that before a decision was made, that it would come back before this board. But it seems like we're moving full steam ahead, and there's been a decision made, and things have been confirmed with this grocer, which to me is putting the cart before the horse. Because before decisions are made in other spaces, this board should be involved in the conversation from the beginning. Not I'm gonna do it, then come back to ask for permission later. And that seems like it's the new norm of how we're conducting business here in the village of Maywood. And we are all responsible for things that happen in the village, and when they go wrong, they're going to be looking at the entire board. And so as elected leaders, in order for us to be able to do our due diligence as it relates to any matter, but specifically to this particular matter, we have not heard anything or seen anything tangible other than an offer letter that was submitted to this board, that we accepted the offer letter, and what was being offered, which was around $350,000 was the offer. We have not seen anything, and there is no way for any board, for any government to be conducting business. And so it appears to me there's been a lot of outside conversations or backdoor conversations, and a lot of those conversations have not happened in the right space, which is this council chamber. And it is not healthy for the village of Maywood to be conducting business like that. And so I don't know if it's on your end, or staff end, but whoever end is on, it is out of line, and it is unhealthy for the village of Maywood, and it's just a reckless practice altogether. And so, again, I'm going to respectfully ask the interim village manager, I want all documents, any communication, anything in writing from Living Fresh, what their proposal is, what staff person is working with this grocer in regards to coming into the village of Maywood. Where do they stand? Are they going to, I'm hearing this evening that they're going to lease the property. Well, if they're going to lease the property, the proper process, and we just all out of whack, is for them to present something in writing to staff. Staff then come back with Living Fresh and then present whatever proposal that or a new proposal that they're presenting to this board and say, Village of Maywood, we are no longer looking to purchase the property at $350,000, which is the offer letter that was given to you all over 3 years ago. We want to do something different. We want to manage the property, right? And so none of those decisions have been made at this dais. I don't know if they've been made in other spaces again, but if they have been made in other spaces, it's inappropriate, right? And so, the whole deal to me is hard to track, it's hard to trace, and it's a huge question mark. Because, now I'm hearing this evening, that they want to lease the property, and then when we heard a few months ago, they were we were in between, with 50-50, whether they wanted to lease it, whether they want to buy it. Well, whatever it is, it needs to be in writing, it needs to be presented to the board in a new proposal if they're not going to move forward with the old proposal that they presented. And so I'm asking publicly, so I want to be on the record of what I'm requesting, to no longer be in the dark about the situation. Anything and all in writing in regards to where this grocery currently stands, what involvement I think had with staff or you, interim manager Satchel, as it relates to opening up a store here in the village of Maywood. Because if they're going to be leasing, they need to come back with a new proposal. Or this board needs to have a conversation in regards to what we're doing with the property to begin with. And so that hasn't happened. We haven't had any conversations or any concrete conversations as it relates to this matter. And for me, I'm just going to be honest, for me, it's given backdoor. Because no conversations have happened at this diet as it relates to the store. And so it's inappropriate, and we need to be provided with some clarity as it relates to the future of the store.
Thank you, Trustee. So I would say that if you recall back to the board retreat that we had, where we did say the lease option thought process came from me. When I went to the conference in Atlanta, we had Mayor Dickens, who's the mayor of Atlanta, that had actually built 2 grocery stores and did a lease agreement with them instead of selling it to them. When he and I had the conversation, which is what I shared at the board retreat, it made more sense of saying, you all got a state grant of $2.5 million. Why would you sell an asset that you're putting $2.5 million into for $350,000? So realistically, The lease proposal conversation came from me, not from them. Right now, you have it where staff and legal are talking to Living Fresh to put together an agreement, because as a board member, you need an actual agreement to review to say if you're gonna vote for it or not. That agreement is not done yet. The reason that, some of the reasons the agreement's not done yet is because they are trying to do an assessed value of what the new price of the property will be, because there's nothing to compare it to of getting renovations for a retail store. So right now you have it where staff and legal are working to get that together. The other piece that they're working through is with Cook County for the Class 7D to get the tax incentive, because if they would have purchased the building, it would have given the tax incentive. But they're working through the conversation of how does the building get the tax incentive if it's still owned by the villagers? So some of those types of things are being worked through with staff and Living Fresh and legal. Once there's an actual agreement, because I don't have a final agreement to look at. So once there's an actual agreement to look at, we'll look at it, we'll talk about it, we'll have the community hearing, we'll have the TIF hearing, we'll have community meetings. But right now, staff is doing their job, which is what they're paid to do. So once there's actually something to look at and say, yay or nay, what say ye, that is what will happen. But there's nothing to talk about because there's no final agreement to discuss. And as soon as that agreement is done, you will have it.
Right, and Mayor.
Trustee?
And you bring up some interesting points. And this is where I have to dive a little deeper. And so you just mentioned that the attorney is working, and that's what I'm saying, like the order of things off track. So if the attorney is working with anybody who this board did not authorize the attorney to work to, because we, first of all, only approved the original agreement with them, which was the sale of the property at $350,000. My first question would be, who's authorizing the attorney to work with them on any new projects if they haven't come before this board? And so that actually creates a huge concern for me, because what is supposed to happen, that's why I said we're missing steps. And so what's supposed to happen is whatever new projects or whatever is being explored, because the attorney is getting paid by the hour. Whatever additional work this attorney is doing on any new project, somebody got to pay them. And so they're not doing it pro bono, or they're not doing it for free. And so who authorized the attorney to work out any new deals or any new proposals if the conversation did not start in these chambers, right? And so I didn't know the attorney was working with them on a different proposal, a new proposal, or whatever it is. This is all new, and that's what I'm saying. The board gives direction to staff.
The attorneys.
So the board gives direction to staff, and that staff person, we only have one, and that's the interim village manager, Ms. Satchel. And then Ms. Satchel then give out the direction from there, right? And so I'm just trying to figure out what is the attorney working on with Living Fresh if they only came before this board, or if they only presented a letter in the tune of $350,000, an offer letter, asking to purchase their property. What is the attorney? And that's why I say it's so cloudy. It's so cloudy, and it just gives me backdoor. Because the correct process is for conversations to start in this chamber, not in outside spaces. Because at the end of the day, anything that the attorney is working on, he's getting paid for it. And who's giving the direction? And that for me, just say how I feel, that just leads me to a question of like, okay, so now who's running the day-to-day operations over there at Village Hall if all of these steps are not in order? And who else can communicate these steps or how it should be other than you, Mayor? And so all of, to me, again, it just seems very backdoor. There has been no conversations from this dais with Living Fresh or anyone else as it relates to moving forward with the store. They only came before this board one time and presented an offer letter, and we're hiring people, consultants at $50,000 to design the store. And we're doing this. Oh, this person was doing work already on it, and we owe this. Who knew all of these things? Who knew that we had somebody doing some work that wasn't approved prior to them doing it? Nobody. Nobody knew that. And so again, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, or maybe some people are privy to the information, and I'm just not privy to it. So it could be that too. But even that is out of order for me not to know and be sitting on this board, right? And so again, for me, the whole thing seems out of order, and then it just leads me to questions and concerns about what's happening at 40 Madison in regards to who's giving direction to who, and why is the attorney working on a deal that we need to give him direction to work on, or any new thing, right? It should start here, right? Approval, all conversations start and end here, and they're not starting here. And so, maybe it's just me. Maybe some people know. Some of my other colleagues know that. I have no clue what Living Fresh is doing, whether they're buying the property, selling the property, bringing the property, Airbnb in the property. I don't know. And so, again, could you provide some information on what conversation you had with them, or what are you working on with them?
Trustee, to be clear, legal is not working with Living Fresh. Legal is working with our staff to answer questions. Living Fresh and legal have not had a sit-down conversation meeting. They have not had a bill meeting. No one was hired and back paid for anything. So to have a narrative that we had somebody working and we didn't pay them is not true. We gave a contract to Anthony.
Yeah.
But if you go back to 2022, 2023, when we first did the grant for the grocery store, Anthony was working with Living Fresh because he helped open their grocery store in Forest Park back in 2018. So Anthony is working with Living Fresh to explore other grocery options across this country. When it comes to actually getting our grocery store open, now that we are closer to actual construction design, getting it done, we hired Anthony as consultant specifically for our store. So it's not like he's been paid for the Village of Maywood, nor was he back paid for the last 2.5 years he's been a part of this journey with us. When we wrote the grant, Anthony is the one who put the budget together of what it would cost to get the building open. But that was when he was working with Living Fresh. Anthony has been a part of the conversations in regards to HVAC, plumbing, roofing, and all of those things as a member working with Living Fresh as we were going through this over a 2-year period to get the grocery store open. So now that it is actually time for us to purchase equipment, do testing on equipment, get the store actually open, his physical presence for this specific project is what we hired him as the consultant to do. Not back pay him for the last 2 years of him being involved with the project, versus now he's actually the person not only doing the design, but he's actually like a GC. He's taking care of every aspect of getting the grocery store open so that we can cut ribbon and have a functioning grocery store, because that is the guy who has that 30+ years of experience in opening, closing, and running grocery stores. So I don't want you to have the narrative of we back paid him or we should have been paying him, because that's just not the case.
Man, I'm just going off what you said. So I don't know nothing about the project. And so my last conversation that I had in these chambers, and that's why I don't like having conversations outside of these chambers, because it needs to be on record so that anybody can be able to follow up and track and trace what's been said, who said it, how they said it, when did they say it. And so you stated that, he's been working on this project already, so he's been volunteering on the project. And so like almost insinuate, we have to go with him because he's been working on this project already. And as I stated then, and I'm stating this evening, well, who knew that he was working on this project already? Most certainly this board didn't know. And so all I'm saying is the whole deal gives back to it. The whole entire deal gives back to it. And maybe some of the people on this board know. And that's why they're quiet as it relates to the matter. But I don't know. And I don't feel comfortable with the whole ordeal. And so that's all I'm communicating. That's where I stand on the issue. And, it just, again, it leads to questions about how the 40 Madison is being ran and who's running it and all that good stuff. Because if you're the only one able to communicate that, what you just stated, that's a problem. And there's been so many other instances where it's like, okay, what's happening? there? You know, who knows what's happening? And so for me, this is just my perspective on the matter. Again, maybe my colleagues know, that's why they, you know, are quiet on the matter, but I don't know. And so that's why I'm speaking up in regards to being informed and in the know, as I should be as a city elected official.
So thank you, trustee, for that. Thank you. Realistically, who runs day-to-day operations for the village of Maywood is our village manager, Calvin Satchel, is in our room. You also have the brand new Economic Innovation and Sustainability Department, where you did hire that we did not have before, a Director of Development. So the Director of Development is working with the Manager of Development is working with the Director of Economic Innovation and Sustainability to get these answers to be able to present something to this board. So once they have something to present to the board, it will be presented to the board. It will be presented to the community. You're asking for something that doesn't exist yet. So once there's a document to say, take into consideration, let's talk about this, that will take place. You're acting like they're running the grocery store and it's open right now without an agreement. There will be an agreement in place. There will be a contract. Once it's done and once staff has done their part, we will be able to do ours.
I'm just going off what you said. I'm just taking what you said.
And I want you to understand.
So
I am saying very clearly, Anthony helped write the grant 3 years ago. Anthony has worked with Living Fresh for 9 years. Now that this specific property is the project of Anthony's to handle to get us to ribbon cutting, we got him on as a consultant for this specific project for the village of Maywood. That is what I am saying, and that is what I have been saying. So me acknowledging that Anthony has been a partner on this project since its infancy, that is correct. We just did not have to pay him because he was a partner with Living Fresh. So now in the grant, we wrote in for a GC contractor person to get us to opening. So his contract is paid for in the grant that he helped write. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I'm just going off what you told me right there.
That's what I'm saying to the resident.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said. Trustee Jones.
Back to what?
So I guess just for point of clarity, if we were in public comment, I guess we could add this to, we didn't get to the village manager's report, right?
We're not at the village manager's report yet.
We're still in public comment?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were talking about the grocery store. I just wanted to ask a couple questions. But I did want to clarify, I did email, but we do, it is said that we don't ask questions before the meeting, so I did attempt to do that. I did talk to the interim village manager today about some of the questions. A lot of them weren't. Some of them weren't answered, just because it seems like they're not, the answers aren't there yet. So I wanted to ask a few here. So there's not an agreement in place, but we have an open date.
So the open date is going to be changed. We're going to have to change it because the equipment that we thought we would be able to use has molded, so I have to purchase the equipment. But that'll be an update coming.
So I guess just in general, if we don't have an agreement, we probably can't establish a date that it's going to open until there's some sort of agreement. Like, is that fair to say? Like,
we don't have, there's no open date announcement.
Okay, because we were told Q3, so I just, okay, so there's not an open date. Yes, that was one of the questions that I had. So we try to get the agreement first and then communicate an open date. So I think that's fair. One thing that you mentioned that I thought was a good point was we received a grant for our building, our property that we're going to invest in. So we're going to get it appraised. And so it's going to be worth more than what it was when we had the letter of intent a few years ago. I understand that this is an assumption that I'm making. My assumption is that the agreement with Living Fresh, where they're working with them and we're not open to anyone else. But what I guess, here's my statement. If we are pouring in $2.4 million into the building, or money into the building, now we can sell it for more. So why are we not considering selling it for more, like actually putting it out for bid, if it's actually worth more now? Why are we entertaining this agreement if there's any other grocers that would be interested in getting it? Now, I was under the impression of what you said, that because Living Fresh helped us with the grant, I don't want to use the word bogus, but I guess it'd be inappropriate to entertain another grocer because they essentially got us here. But I guess what I'm saying is if we're going to invest resources into a property and now it's worth more, and we're also, we're putting in these refrigerators, we're doing all this stuff, would that make it more appealing for another entity if we put it out for a RFQ or something like that? Because now we have invested all this money where maybe they weren't interested otherwise. Now if we say, hey, we're going to fix the parking lot, we're going to fix the building, etc. Why not now say, okay, well, we're doing this, we had the grant, we got this resource. Now, Living Fresh has an option to potentially lease it or sell or manage it, but maybe another grocer would buy it. So instead of selling for $350,000, somebody might pay $1.9 million because the building is already at the park. They don't have to come in and put the capital improvement. So my question is ultimately, maybe correct my assumption about Living Fresh got us here, so we must stick with them. But my question ultimately is, since we've invested in the property, that letter of intent is likely expired. It was something that we're kind of working on in theory, but if the property is going to be completely different now, why not entertain what offers we could get to this public property now, since the state has given us resources to invest in it and we don't have an active agreement? Those are just my 2 questions.
So I think that thought process or that question in itself becomes problematic for me when we are truly trying to move Maywood forward, attract new business, retain current business, and a business that potentially wants to come to Maywood, where here elected officials think that we should entertain being bogus to a business that has worked with us for nearly 3 years. Living Fresh wrote the grant. We just applied for it as the village. Living Fresh went down to Springfield to advocate for the grant. Living Fresh talked through DCEO, the grocery store. Living Fresh was in Speaker Welch's office. Living Fresh was in Senator Lightford's office. And for somebody who's done nothing but cast 1 vote to accept $2.5 million that they didn't even work to get, and to say that the people who actually worked to get it can somehow be backdoored is crazy. So for me, it becomes the part. I know it's not. So for me, it becomes a little like when you're working to rebuild the brand of the village of Maywood, and when you're working to make sure that this is a safe space that businesses would want to come to, thought processes like that become dangerous, to say publicly.
Mayor, transparent about it. We want to have.
I don't have a contract to give you.
If they would come before the board, like any other business, it would be idea of being back.
Trustee Williams.
Yeah. Do it the right way.
So, Mayor, I guess my question is, when are we looking to get an agreement from whether they want to buy it, whether they're going to lease it? When will an agreement? When do we anticipate an agreement coming before the board?
That agreement will come before the board, hopefully, because staff still has a couple of meetings with Living Fresh. That proposal will come with us preferably within the next week or 2, because it would definitely need to come so that we could give notice to the TIF hearing and give notice to the public community meeting. So it would definitely be provided before the next board meeting.
So I guess my question to the interim village manager, they can come back and say, no, I don't want to lease this property, so are we still entertaining the $350,000 sale price for the building, or what would we be doing then?
As I understand it, we would not be entertaining that because of the investment that we put into the building. And if we then sold it for almost $2 million less than our investment, that would,
Okay, so I guess my question now is, if they say we don't want to entertain a lease agreement with the village, then what are we looking at?
They acknowledge that they're interested in a lease agreement.
Okay, so they acknowledge that to the interim village manager.
They're working with the EIS team.
But does she know?
Yes.
I'm present at the village hall every day, trustee. I'm there from at least 8 to 8 daily. And
and I am aware of everything that goes on at Village Hall daily with each department. Swear to God.
So Adrian, Director Schaefer has, okay, so I'll address Director Schaefer with my concerns.
Well, I mean, the concern should go to the village manager. I mean, well, that's the form of government.
You can still have a conversation.
I can have a conversation with staff, a conversation with the department heads, which is probably going to get a lot of questions answered before we get here to put on the climate show.
That's not the correct
No, that's the process. That's my process.
Okay, that's why I think it's to take things to the village manager. That's what type of government.
So let's
to avoid lawsuits, litigation,
trustee,
or things like
thank you for your
intimidation from elected officials,
trustee.
You know,
Village manager's report.
It avoids those things.
Does anybody have any questions or anything on village manager's report? Hearing none.
Wait, I have a question for the village manager.
Yes, sir. Yes, trustee.
So my concern is pertaining to item number 11L. And that is the height variation and zoning map amendment.
Bistro?
Yes.
So this is for the fence that they're trying to put on the east and the north side?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So my first question is, what is the current height of the current fence that is up today?
The current height that they have in the patio area is 6 feet. So what they're trying to do is do a noise variance type. So it's not to circle the whole building. On the back end where the resident is right up against the back end of it, to make it higher, and put some bushes up for a sound variance on that. And then where that 3-flat apartment building is, to give it some height on that side. So it's not on the front or on the south side. It's just next to the 3-flat and on the back end where the houses are.
And I guess for me, I'm just trying to, normally when we have these type of situations, there's like a picture of what's being proposed. I haven't seen it, but I am concerned about aesthetically how that will look in that particular area. And as it relates to both of these items being combined, my hope is that we would have separated these two, because it's requesting two things in one.
Well, it's two. So it's two different. If you go from the map amendment, they have one from planning and zoning, and then you have for the fifth variation. So they actually did do the PZBA meeting where they did a motion and a vote specifically and separated, and then actually provided two different recommendations.
Right, and I'm just saying how it's being presented to us. It's all combined in one.
We can break up.
Is what I'm saying. So my concern is about aesthetically, how it will look. I'd like to see a picture of it. And I just wanted to state for the record, just reading over the material, it stated that we're only talking about changing the zoning for those two parcels, nothing else around it.
Nothing else around it, just the back parking lot and the north parking lot, and the north side of the parking lot, where the cars are facing when they're in the parking lot.
Yeah, and just to add to the context, what I heard from residents, I was happy I was here to come here. We do know that the property has been vacant for an extremely long time, decades, right? And so, I do commend Ms. Guerin as it relates to, and her husband as it relates to getting this property back on the tax roll and invested in the property. But it's all about it's all about being good neighbors as well, and making sure that we do hear those concerns of the residents who do live in that area, because that area, is currently a residential area, and so it's about being a good neighbor. And I think that as we look at these establishments across the village of Maywood, we may want to look at the concepts in which they came in or which they put on their applications, right, to make sure that they're still within those parameters, right? I know it was originally stated that it was supposed to be a cafe, but it appears to me that they have went into another direction with the establishment. And so all those things for me, and that's any establishment throughout the village, whether it's just like Mama's, whether it's exclusive, any of these establishments, are they operating within their correct parameters based on the applications that they submitted? Because sometimes, going to these places, it do give club vibes, a club or a bar, grill, or a cafe. And so we want to make sure that who's ever responsible for evaluating and assessing whether or not these businesses are operating under the right parameters is doing their job as well. Because no one wants to live next door to a club, and so I do understand that too, but but I will be supporting this because I do think it makes sense as well. But I just wanted to say this: we need to be good neighbors. All establishments in the village of Maywood, we need to make sure that we are holding everybody accountable.
Thank you, Trustee. I'm trying to, she just emailed me over the fence. Michelle had the picture, but she didn't put it in the packet. So I'm just trying to pull it up right quick. The other thing I will say is, yes, they're operating within their license. If you recall, a couple of board meetings ago, we did a board vote to change their license for liquor sales until 2 a.m. And when they did the update of the paperwork. So there was the liquor commission meeting, there was the board meeting, and we all unanimously voted to change it. So the due diligence on staff side was done, and the board, including yourself, actually voted to do it.
Mayor.
Trustee Joe.
So the village manager's report, a couple questions that I ask all the time. I was asking in terms of a status update of our audits. Has that changed since the last week?
Manager's action.
So it hasn't changed in terms of it being completed, we did reach out to the auditors. Well, they've actually been working with the accountant, on a weekly basis. So we reached out again today because there were some other issues that we needed to, get resolved, and so we're hoping by the end of next week. Because all the field work is done. It's just now the partners need to review, so we're done with all of the field work.
Okay. Just a couple more comments or questions. This is a request, I did mention it. If we're going to do a bid waiver for the process of being expedient, but we actually are incurring 3 bids, can we include that in the document, like for instance, 11B for the ammunition, for instance, like if we're getting
because that's a specialty item, but for the
just include it in there so we can actually confirm that we are getting, or that we are getting those numbers. Otherwise, we're just trusting it, or we're just there's no way to kind of verify that. And then in terms of and I'm only saying this if no one responded to the department head reports. Yeah.
I can get those out to you. Otherwise, they
We can put them in the next for August.
Yeah.
We just do 2 months.
Because none of them are there, so that whole file we get same. We got it out.
Thank you.
Just email me a copy of it.
Okay, I will send the email right. She just said that I was going to.
Yeah. Huh?
I'm sending it now.
We had it here earlier.
Okay. You can just email it to me because I know, some people have to travel tomorrow. I won't keep them on.
So that's the design agreement.
So the dark space there, and then the short dark behind, the two from the apartment building, to the north, and then the two houses in the east. There's three houses on the north, on the 4th Avenue side. One is abandoned, and then two active properties. So the fence, it's a dead end alley, so the fence will just cover the two houses on the corner of the house back in, big shrubs also.
No, I think that could assist with the noise on some of the shrub.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for the village attorney's report? Hearing none.
So I have a question.
Trustee Jones?
I see the tip, this is for the new tips. It doesn't look like there's an update on that, but then we just mentioned a tip meeting for August 4th.
So the August 4th will specifically talk about the fact that the grocery store sits in the tip. It's not saying we're utilizing any tip funds or anything, or giving any tip funds. It's just acknowledging that the grocery store sits in the tip and the village owns it. The tip, we're still waiting for the new tips to hear back from the state. And once we hear back from the state, that's when we'll have those community meetings.
Okay, and then going back to the grocery store agreement, the trustee Wood asked about the agreement, you mentioned a week. So within that week, is that when the attorney gets involved? When does the attorney get involved?
The attorney would get involved, but that's when we actually have it as a discussion in closed session. Because it's about sale or lease of the property.
So before the attorney gets involved, it comes back to the board first.
Right, that's what I'm scared, because I do think we
So
should
the reality
be
is,
discussing before.
when you're saying staff has conversations with legal all the time, so they have had staff conversations, they have not had Living Fresh conversations with Living Fresh, but they've had staff conversations to be able to get something that staff can present to the board to take into consideration. So our conversation would happen with legal once we actually have a document to look at and take into consideration.
Or how about with discussion and consideration? You know what I mean? Like,
well, the consideration is closed, like, so no different than tonight. We have something under new business that we have to go into closed session, come back out of the vote. It would still, because it's a lease or a sale of the property, go into closed session for discussion. Okay. All right. I need an omnibus agenda motion to approve 15A through 15W. Motion by trustee Alvey, second by trustee Brandon. Please read the omnibus agenda.
Letter A, motion to approve the monthly financial report in the amount of $1,693,865.93. Letter B, motion to approve the warrant list number 20574 dated June 30th, 2026 in the amount of $2,339,699.92. Letter C, motion to approve bid waiver and authorization to approve the purchase of ammunition supply for mandatory annual firearms qualification from Ray O'Haron of Danville, Illinois, in the amount of $25,695. Letter D, motion to approve and authorize the payment of invoice INVLEX 272707 in the amount of $13,561.12 for Lexipol Policy Management Services payable to Lexipol LLC of Dallas, Texas for annual law enforcement policy manual and daily training bulletins. Letter E, motion to approve and authorize payment of invoice 52855 dated May 26, 2026 in the amount of $15,679 for the purchase of battery operated rescue tool Hurst SC358 E3F Connect Combine Tool Package, commonly referred to as Jaws of Life, for Air One Equipment Inc. of South Elgin, Illinois. Letter F, motion to approve payment of invoice 1193440 dated April 17, 2026, in the amount of $10,331.20 to cover police academy tuition at College of DuPage, Glenelg, Illinois, for Maywood Police Department recruits Alex Munoz and Andres Sandoval. Letter G, motion to approve a resolution authorizing the approval and execution of an agreement between the Village of Maywood and the Edwin Hancock Engineering Company for furnishing professional engineering services for the 2027 Green Infrastructure Alley Improvements Project and for the appropriation and expenditure of funds to pay for the design, engineering services, and construction engineering services related to the project. Letter H, motion to approve bid waiver and authorization to approve the payment of the Print Lab 2.0 of Robbie, Illinois for a proposal to produce and install mesh banners at the Fred Hampton Aquatic Center in the amount of $12,406. Letter I, motion to approve bid waiver and authorization to approve the payment of invoice 2201 dated July 6, 2026 to F3 Plumbing of Lombard, Illinois in the amount of $32,750 for emergency water main break repairs at 902 South Fifth Avenue. Letter J, motion to approve and authorization to approve payment of invoice 86399 dated June 15, 2026 to low bidder Taylor Contracting Services of Robbie, Illinois in the amount of $5,811 for cabinet installation and associated services at 801 South Fifth Avenue. Letter K, motion to approve bid waiver and authorization to approve payment of invoice 451 dated June 12, 2026 to NF Upright Professional Painting Inc. of Justice, Illinois in the amount of $12,350 for exterior painting and associated services at 801 South Fifth Avenue. Letter L, motion to request approval of bid waiver and authorization to approve payment of quotes LB 26-20309-3 and LB-26-20321 dated May 6, 2026 to Lions View Manufacturing of Chicago, Illinois in the amount of $31,176 for the purchase of street light material inventory required for village staff to maintain and repair village street lights. Letter M, motion to approve a resolution authorizing and approving military leave policy, policy number 415, and neonatal intensive care leave, policy number 425 for the Village of Maywood. Letter N, motion to approve an ordinance approving a fence height variation and zoning map amendment changing the zoning designation for the properties located at 1113 South Fifth Avenue and 1115 South Fifth Avenue from R5 multi-family residential to C2 pedestrian-oriented commercial. Tori Garin on behalf of Yours Cafe and Bistro LLC doing business as Yours Cafe. Letter O, motion to approve and authorize payment of invoice number MD 1024 dated May 15, 2026 in the amount of $890,000 to GA Pavement Inc. GA Pavement LLC of Maywood, Illinois for phase 1 of the 2026 resurfacing project previously approved by the Board of Trustees on May 5, 2026. Letter P, motion to approve and authorize payment of invoice 31179 dated June 22, 2026 in the amount of $109,413.19 to M&J Asphalt Paving Company, Inc. of Cicero, Illinois for work performed on the 2026 Randolph Street ADA curb ramp improvements previously approved by the Board of Trustees on April 7, 2026. Letter Q, motion to approve bid waiver and authorize payment of invoice number 89 dated July 7, 2026 in the amount of $13,000 to Professional Concrete Services LLC of Franklin Park, Illinois for concrete road restoration at First and Pine, 622 South 13th Avenue and Madison Street in Greenwood. Letter R, motion to approve an ordinance authorizing the creation and issuance of a Class E liquor license temporary special event on village-owned property, temporary license to sell or transfer liquor for applicant A&N Team LLC doing business as the View Restaurant and Lounge for the R&B Rodeo Southern Style Food Festival, July 25th, 2026. Letter S, motion to approve bid waiver and authorize payment of invoice order Z362612 dated July 9th, 2026 in the amount of $48,360 to Core and Main of St. Charles, Illinois for the purchase of replacement water meters to be installed in properties within the village of the 2026 Lead Water Service Improvement Project. Letter T, motion to approve bid waivers as applicable and authorization to establish a procurement budget and an amount not to exceed $497,646 for the purpose of the development, renovation, and construction of Food is Medicine, a Center for Community Engagement at 1101 South 11th Avenue building. Letter U, motion to approve bid waiver and authorization of payment of invoice estimate 16162 dated July 9th, 2026 in the amount of $15,000 to Master Guys Demolition Inc. of Hickory Hills, Illinois for demolition, removal, and related services at 615 South 5th Avenue, Grocery. Letter V, motion to approve bid waiver and authorize payment for plumbing work pursuant to responsible bid by Main Street Retail Good Lowe's Construction of Kansas City, Missouri, dated May 29th, 2026, in the amount of $19,600 for plumbing works and related services at 615 South 5th Avenue, grocery store. And letter W, motion to approve and authorize payment of invoice number MD1025, dated May 15, 2026, in the amount of $949,690 to GA Pavement LLC of Maywood, Illinois, for Phase 1 of the 2026 resurfacing project previously approved by the Board of Trustees on May 5th, 2026.
Trustee, can we do one amendment to T, where it says the Food is Medicine, a Center for Community Engagement, is supposed to be Food is Medicine Cafe?
So letter T, motion to approve bid waivers as applicable and authorization to establish a procurement budget in an amount not to exceed $497,646 for the purpose of the development, renovation, and construction of the Food is Medicine Cafe at 1101 South 11th Avenue building.
At 1100. We never read all things.
Amendment to letter T, motion to approve bid waivers as applicable and authorization to establish a procurement budget in an amount not to exceed $497,646 for the purpose of the development, renovation, and construction of the Food is Medicine Cafe at 1100 South 11th Avenue building.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez. Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Allen.
Aye.
Trustee Smiley.
Aye.
Trustee Brandon.
Aye.
Mayor Booker.
Aye. All right, we need to go into closed session to discuss new business before we come back out to vote on new business. So we get a motion to go into closed meeting session. For E, the purchase or lease of real property for the Use Back Village.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by trustee Allen, second by trustee Brandon. Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez. Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Allen.
Aye.
Trustee Smiley. Trustee Brandon.
Aye.
Mayor Booker.
Aye. All right, if we could have everyone step out of the room so you can do a quick meeting. Oh, no.
Jeff.
Oh, yeah. But okay, I got you.
It's not, because I asked you said the board changed their. In reference to the. You guys recently changed.